Hey, I'm Justin.
This is Chaz.
Join us as we look back together, but learn to stay present.
Come with us as we rise up with hope on the horizon.
This is the podcast of extraordinary millennial gentlemen. We are back. That was exciting. I told Chaz I want to do the intro. So
it's a good intro. I like it.
Healthy pause and then reel them in. Okay, everyone, yeah. I'm talking to you. No, we are back. We are continuing a subject of conversation, fairly personal, and I sound semi-sarcastic, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I am dead serious, not dead serious. Before we get into that subject today, though, I am curious what you have been consuming, good sir.
Oh,
what's been your go-to this
week? Part of it is for the podcast, right? I've been super speed consuming our next book.
Oh,
and so that is
when you say super speed, are you like above 1.5?
Oh, well, I'm double that most of the time.
What?
I am
3.0?
I am 3.0ing this book like crazy. So it's been interesting.
I don't want to throw away what book it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone out there is probably going to hear this before we get to that book review.
Yep.
But is it like, can you process this? Is your brain keeping up with this? Or 3.0?
Yeah, I only do it when I can fully, I was driving and I had it on 3.0 and I had to go to 2.5 because my brain was just like driving 3.0. I can't compute that, but I was able to tone it down just a bit and still be able to drive and still get it in.
That's good.
Safely. Exactly. Staying safe because it was like, wow, this is super distracting. But the other times is like I'm on the treadmill and I've got the headphones in and I don't hear anything else. And
got it.
You do have to get used to it. I mean, I didn't speed up to 3.0, day one. I've been like a 1.5 all the time listener. And sometimes, based on the reader's cadence, again, this is Audible, I would go 2.2, 2.5. And then occasionally when I'm like, even at 2 or so, I need to speed through this section.
Yep.
Or I've got a deadline to finish this book by. Then I bump it up.
Turn it up.
I crank it up to 3. And it does take some getting used to, but you're like, wow, 3. I can consume this. Like this book, I think it said beginning to end would be like 8 or 12 hours, something like that.
Yeah, sure.
And when I dial it up to 3, it's like, you're going to finish this in 6. And so it's fun when I look back, if I'm not in my play area on the app, it's like, you've got 8 hours left. And I'm like, wait till when I click over, it's like, oh, you have 2.5 hours left. I'm like, okay. So,
are you reading a version that's been read by the author?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yep. I did the ebook, so I was kind of doing the Kindle, the swipe.
Yeah.
Don't really have the 3.0 option with that, but okay, interesting.
Yeah, so that's been good, and I guess the tag along to that was kind of coming back into just my routine with the exercise and stuff like that. That I've realized to get my audiobooks in, which again, I'm kind of an audiobook junkie, right? I get the shakes if I don't get my books in. So
verbs, adjectives.
I just need these. But no,
pills are good.
Pills are good. Yes,
they're
good. My pills. It mellows me out, but at the same time, I get my exercise in. 2 for 1. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's my bird. That's my mental, physical bird. I just and shove it into, and sometimes it's
shooting
20.
birds.
It's quick. Like I've got 20 minutes. I do a 20-minute cardio, something on the treadmill with 20 minutes. So I try to shove as much in there as I can. So that's me on the consuming side. But how's that going on your end?
Oh man, well, exercise, I got to tell you, not a lot of consumption. It's been a fast in that regard. Nice. But I am kicking up.
You're intermittent fasting your exercise. I like it.
Yes.
The longer the period, the greater the results, right? That's what I hear.
I'm committed. Okay. No, I'm jumping into a new routine this week that's got me yoga 2 days, lifting 2 days.
Yeah.
And then jogging will not be the emphasis yet. That'll be kind of the, Saturday thing. That'll be kind of my flex.
Yeah,
if I've got a lot of time, I want to go on a nice long walk or jog. I'm excited to kick off, be doing that tomorrow. I've got all the resources to do it. As far as kind of books or intellectual endeavors, man, I'm trying to think. Another intermittent fast. I had 3 books going at the same time.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago. So I had the book that we'll be reviewing shortly that you referred to at 3.0. Didn't consume it that fast, but I think I got through it in a week. So pretty quick for the Kindle version.
Yeah.
Again, not going to throw out that title and author yet, audience. Cliffhanger. Reeling them in. Just throwing it out.
Reel them in.
That's right. In a day when. No. Okay. Only works for movies from 15 ago. No one knew that anymore. So, let's see. The other 2 titles. One was a book by Thomas Sowell. He's a economics professor at Stanford. Pretty well-known kind of, Austrian School of Economics. So that means he's pretty much like, don't have the government tell you anything ever when it comes to economics because they're policy writers. They know nothing about economics. So he's got some biases, but he's an incredibly articulate and well-written professor. And so I picked one up. It's called Economic Facts and Fallacies. And I was a little concerned initially because I haven't read one of his books before. I've listened to some of his lectures and some of his keynotes. And I was surprised it did not read like a textbook, but it absolutely read like an economics book written by an academic. So I guess what that means is, and again, the title is Facts and Fallacies. So the facts were like, boom, stats, boom, the science of people's decisions and market conditions. Yeah. But it wasn't like, see the graph on this page, which was kind of refreshing. I was kind of surprised how well I consumed it. Came away with a lot of great information, probably an episode for another day. So I did start a second book of his called Discrimination and Disparities. And there's a specific order of these. He's talking a nonfiction economics titles. So, very stimulating, intellectually waking me up to many of the misconceptions about our system of economics and personal choices, and just harps back to some of the days in school where I felt very educated and intellectual. But man, that's about it. Not a lot of leisure. Got to get some leisure in, but exercise and intellect, trying to hit that hard.
Gotcha. Well, I might have to get those titles from you because economics is kind of on some of the topics I've been coming to my mind. I've got a few other books that of other economic related people.
Topics,
And so these ones, I'm looking at them right here down on my desk, but I need to get to those. These are paper books, so that's going to be tough for me because I'll have to find time to flip through them. And one's like 2.5 inches thick.
Paper book?
I don't know.
Like a published, like a piece of tree.
They don't just read them to you anymore. I mean, that's the only books I know.
I get it. You're going to hire somebody to read this paper book to you.
I would love to do that, actually.
Chauncey, 2.5.
Please read that. Don't be as slow as the other readers. I'd like to read it at 1.0 with it being fast.
That's right.
That would be so hard.
Ignore punctuation. Again.
It makes me think, though. So I did do this this week. I kind of binge purchased on Audible. So I was quickly flipping through here. There were some sales, and
just moved Bezos' wealth by like 0.0000001%. That was you. That was your binge Audible purchase.
Yeah.
Now he's going to get to the moon.
I moved them up, but I think, let's see here. These are how many books I have in my queue that I have not touched. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 books in my Audible queue.
Yikes.
I do that every once in a while when they're like, hey, these are all on sale for $3 or less. And I'm like, okay, I'll pick up a couple there.
Yep.
And then it's, 2 for 1 credit. And then I pick up a couple there. And I just keep waiting. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but they have every once in a while, they'll be like, win your wish list on Audible. And I'm like, sign up. Cause I've got like thousands of books in there that I'll never get to. Anyway, so that'll be fun.
You are a case study in Audible consumerism, but it's not a bad thing, people. We're talking about the knowledge of the world here.
Yeah. I mean, and some of these are some of the recommended stuff we've had from other people on the podcast that I was just like, oh, that I've got to throw that in my library. And then it pops up on sale and I'm like, okay, time to buy it. So not spending money here, but just, shopping the deals. So you got to get the sales when you get them. And
so I totally find, I know we're diving deep into this discussion of books and what we like to read, but audience, we can't make this up. We're committed to this stuff. We enjoy it. So the funny thing for me is I've noticed in kind of looking at a fresh year, a fresh start, what books I want to read this year. And I don't like to hold myself to a specific order. I kind of have to see how I'm feeling and what my appetite for certain areas of knowledge are when I'm done with the 2 titles that usually I'm reading at the same time.
Right.
Then I usually take a step back. And that's what kind of surprised me after our book review book, that title, that I was kind of like, diving into economics at the same time, which there's some parallels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That book we're going to cover talks a lot about society, poverty, from a firsthand experience. And so there's just some interesting kind of, economics to me is like that though. It's kind of a worldly science that encompasses the world, right? Yep. Nobody is free from financial transactions, right? So anyway, the audience is asleep, but everybody, I like to just, I just like to pick that big barreled gun of audiobooks up or ebooks and just spin that cylinder. Zzz, I like that clicking sound. And then wherever it lands, it's kind of Wheel of Fortune, right? It's kind of like that mentally for me. That gets me excited about my next read more so than a specific like January, February, March. And I'm just rebelling against myself. That's how much of a dummy I am. But.
Yeah, no, I think I fall into that category too, because some of these these binge purchasing, deals that I find, I will do it because I want to read it, and I know I want to read it fairly in the future, but I'm not in the details. It's like, and sometimes I'll start it and be like, haha, yeah, that wasn't the book to start. Restarting, pick a new book, and go down.
That's
that
like
path.
sending it back to the chef. You're like, okay, nope, I did want this. I did want the steak.
Yeah, I ordered the chicken. That was the wrong call.
That's right.
Give me the steak. Thank you. I like it. So
very good.
I will throw, so anybody out there, right? If you're in this realm, you have books that you do this for, leave us some comments. You are our favorite 5 subscribers out there. Let us know if you want to come on the show, talk about a book. You can tell we're totally down for that.
Yes.
Just let us know, contact us. Yep. And I think if I turned on this feature, if you're listening to this in audio, I believe we now have, it's supposed to be linked in with the newest episodes, a number you can call and leave us a message.
What?
And we will check that, maybe even play it on the air, and we'll get back to you directly. So
I might call our own podcast.
I think we should.
No. That does go back to yesteryear. Jerky boys and crank calls. And anyway, that was the thing. Now, I think when somebody calls on my phone, especially if I have Verizon, and they're like, likely spam or potential spam, and I'm like, not going to answer. every crank call I ever made when I was a kid would just not happen in our day and age.
There's no way.
Happen.
No way at all. I mean, most people don't even answer their phone. It's like they text you back. Why did you call me? Like, what's
It's a crank text.
You need to text me. Yeah.
Is your refrigerator ready? Classic.
Hey, thanks for spending some time with us today. Hope you find hope and joy throughout this upcoming week. If you've liked this podcast, please hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next week.
I ate my grandma.